Hello, people of the internet. Welcome to another review here on Pez of the Mind. I am.
Happy Christmas.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Ooh, those fighting words.
No, I'm just saying,
Yes.
maybe you get both.
Is it possible to be both merry and happy?
No, it's impossible. No.
Anyway, this is another one of our Christmas reviews for the month of December here.
Yep.
And this is the 2010 film The Christmas Bunny. Most notably starring Florence Henderson, who, of course, for those who don't know, is the, mother from the Brady Bunch.
And of course, award-winning Chriz, aka the Mole, festive jumper, ready here to spread for joy over the interwebs. But enough with the techno bubble.
Mm.
You'll get that reference.
Mhm.
No, that was on Lego Marvel. Jameson's doing a podcast. He goes, yeah, and web, it's short for the interwebs or whatever. But enough with that techno babble. And then moves on. He goes, that's not techno babble.
I think I saw that clip where you share playing with me.
Yeah.
And Anastasia Lazerbeam is here.
Hi.
As you can see, she's already started unwrapping herself, but it's a little early for the adults-only
It's
show.
actually really hot in this. I had to have multiple layers, and
Yep. Anywho, The Christmas Bunny. This movie was made in 2010 by a small production company, the name of which I do not know off the top of my head. I looked up the other night, but I forget what it was, so not important.
Fluffy Bunny Incorporated.
Sure, why not?
This was their first movie. They planned to do a whole sequel. Like they wanted to do the Hanukkah Bunny. They were going to do Easter Bunny, but that was too on the nose.
the Kwanzaa Kitty.
They just ruined it.
I would laugh if there was a whole list somewhere of holidays with something bunny. And one of them goes, why the hell haven't you put Easter on there? Like, oh my god, Easter Bunny, yeah, it works. Like, yeah, the fuck, what? We've been doing this for hours. You came up for hours with all these holidays and not once said Easter? What? That's when people deserve to be fired.
Yes.
And so whatever you think.
Looks like Anastasia Lazerbeam has fired her personal stylist, Fabio. He will be missed.
He will.
I don't even know who Fabio is.
Neither do I. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, it's not even an insult either. It's just a random Fabio reference.
Appropriate.
Spoiler, probably Simon in a disguise.
Yeah, most likely.
Simon Jeff dressed like Adam Sandler's character in that one where he was a hairdresser.
Ah, the Zohan, yes.
So how did everybody like this?
I thought it was a really good film. To be honest, truth be told, this is one of my picks of the two. You can see my other pick this coming Friday, Kung Fu Panda Holiday. We'll get to that.
You have picked poorly. No. I'm kidding.
Anyway, so yeah, I picked this. It's on American Netflix and as well as British Netflix, and it looked like Oh, it's not.
No, like I said to you, it wasn't on British Netflix. But when I searched on my Sky, it happened to be on demand from Channel 5, so I just downloaded it on there and watched it that way, because I was like, well, it's still free access to me.
That works. Fair enough. Well, it is available out there. It was made in 2010, and the production company has only made 2 other movies since then, so they haven't done a lot. But
I will also say, I like the movie. It's enjoyable. Clearly, unless I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, it's going to lose a hell of a lot more points. I'm assuming a made-for-TV movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. You assume correctly.
There's so much bad in this, but I like the film. It's just a load of bad.
Yeah, it's a TV movie. It's got a good message, but being a made-for-TV movie, there's going to be some weaknesses. You can't really get around that. The premise of the film is it focuses on a young girl who is being placed in a foster home with a new set of parents, and she's come from a not too good background. Her mother's had some issues with drugs and run-ins with the law, and so she's never really had a home. So she's doesn't really talk a lot and is very quiet. And her parents
At
try
all.
to at all at first,
It's just like 3 words for the whole film, so we can pretty much almost say at all.
for the most part. But her new parents, who are taking her in as a foster child, both because they want a foster child and also because the husband got laid off and they kind of need the money for having a foster kid.
Yep.
And effectively, what happens is she
Then
ends up.
a bunny crashes its snowmobile, gets injured, and they take the bunny home with them, and that's what the film's about.
He might be paraphrasing.
If you mean by shoot it, then yes.
Yes, the son of the family and his
BB gun.
cousin get BB guns for Christmas because there's no Christmas movie at all about how bad of an idea that is. And
It helped in Home Alone.
that's true, but that kid's crazy. That kid's going to grow up to be a sociopath.
That kid's awesome in Home Alone 1 and 2.
Anyway, the bunny is inadvertently shot with a BB gun. It's not super hurt, but they ended up having to take it to the bunny lady, played by Florence Henderson, who is a grumpy old recluse, but who takes care of many rabbits among other animals at her farm that she lives on. And it's just a story about the bunny helping the girl to kind of come out of her shell at never having had a family, while also helping the bunny lady kind of come back out of her shell for being a grumpy, reclusive old lady.
Yep.
Along with minor subplots involving the parents and some other things that are going on. I think there were a few too many subplots in this movie, if I'm being honest.
And what did you think of the movie, Pew?
Pew, you're muted.
Oh, I thought it was fine, but man, their kids are dicks. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Maybe you should, worry about, like, managing the children you got before adding another, but, like, because you seriously got some work to cut out, but, it's fine, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was alright. It was just alright. It was cute,
Well-
but, like, it wasn't...
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the son is not that bad. He's only an asshole when he's pressured into it by his cousin, who's a rich prick.
Yep.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. You gotta stand to tell that kid to be like, hey, when something's bad, or learn how to ask permission for things, or,
And like I said, I enjoyed the movie. Like I said, it's fun in that typical Christmas mushy way.
Yeah.
However, as I mentioned, a lot of problems, and I'm going to go through a lot of them.
Okay.
Number one, it's a big deal. That's why I said she doesn't talk at all. But the girl doesn't speak at all. They make a big deal about she never talks. Then, near the end of the movie, she finally speaks, and the mother just goes, "Oh, you," and then just brushes it off. And you're like, that should be a big deal. Holy shit, she spoke. Like, the old woman made more of a deal about it. Like, oh, you talk now. The parents didn't say fuck all about it. Oh my god, you're finally talking.
That's because there was a scene earlier where the mother referenced that the girl was saying a few words here and there. It just, we weren't seeing it all on screen. She had said, there was at least one scene where she had said a few words, and the mother had,
Like, I think the only thing she said was, like, one word, like yes or no or something like that. And then the second one was naming the pet. And the third one was at the end.
Yeah, exactly. At the end, when she's speaking to that woman, a kid, and she says, "No, you don't know how to look after it," which is another problem I'll get into in a sec. And she's like, "You don't know how to look after it," and goes through a whole bunch of stuff with him. And then, the parents just like, "Oh, her." And even the woman who knows her better because she's always hanging out there, it's like, "Oh, you finally you talk now," and you're like, it's kind of a big deal that she's coming out with all these sentences. You should be more involved. You should be more invested.
That's fair enough.
The second problem was the father.
Yeah, he was kind of the weakest character in the movie.
He had like nothing but, oh, I don't have the job storyline going. And then randomly at the end, once the daughter runs away and they have this subplot that didn't need to be there about, oh, we're going to put stakes because will she die in the snow? I'm guessing not based on its age rating. And she doesn't. And then one of the people that shows up happened to be the guy that offered him the job earlier. He's like, "Oh, I'll take the job now." I'm like, "Okay." And you're like, "Oh, it's wrapping up the film now." All the plots are going to be resolved in
Yeah.
like 2 seconds.
Yay.
In like 2 seconds. The other problem I had is how to take care of a bunny.
Okay.
They need to research this. Just do a little bit of research on how to look after a bunny if you're going to do a movie about it.
Okay.
Like they mentioned, bunnies should never eat pellets. That's not entirely true. There is actually a lot of pellet diet that you can give bunnies. It's more recommended because not giving them the pellets and only giving them the hay and the other stuff, you need to be a lot more disciplined because if you mess that up, it's going to fuck up the rabbit.
Bunnies, similar to guinea pigs, need a diet to both, because I looked this up when I was taking care of my guinea pigs.
Exactly.
They need the hay to digest the food, which means it needs the food to to digest. You can't just give it hay. You have to
Exactly.
that's the thing. It digests the food, assuming that you are giving it food. It needs both things.
Exactly. And the other thing is, oh, and they like being picked up by the back of the neck? No, that hurts them.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it doesn't, because that's like cats. That's how the mothers pick them up in their mouth and they need to carry them around. So there's actually extra skin there. They're designed for that.
Actually, but you'll notice with rabbits, when they pick them up, it's with the teeth and they do it carefully. When the humans are picking it up and grabbing it, it does hurt. A lot of rabbit places and pet stores and stuff warn you, don't pick up the rabbit by its neck.
And also, I'd say cats also prefer if you pick them up feet first, honestly, or by their middle arm section. I would kind of prefer that too.
Yep. And when the mother picks them up, they're babies. They're not fully grown.
Yeah.
True.
It's like our mothers used to pick us up like that and then hold us like this, like a baby. I guarantee you your mother's not going to pick you up under your armpits now, Jim. Grab you and hold you like this and go, it's fine, it's fine. It worked when you were a baby.
That's true.
Science.
I guess
that one.
True.
That just irritated me a little bit, because it's like, at least do a little bit of research. But
yeah, it should be noted here. I did a little research on their website the other night. I don't know if this makes this better or worse, but they did have a big contributions to their pages and to the movie from Hopper Home and House Rabbit Society. So
that makes sense. A lot of films of animals get contributions from either from the movies and do it themselves, because it's encouraging them to look after them more.
Yeah, I got the distinct feeling like that the information in the movie came from those organizations, which means they might not be the best bunny organizations, if what you guys are saying is true.
Actually, probably not. If you look on the movie Cats and Dogs, that had an official cats and dogs charities involved with it. Spoiler, they're not really spies. But that one you allow because it's more fantasy, and I can see Jim researching as we speak because his face is lit up. But yeah,
I just wanted the website because I wanted to have the names of those two rabbit organizations.
And also, you had the fight when they push it down the hill in a pram, and the rabbit falls out, and the girl goes over, and then she starts going, "Ooh," in a weird way. I'm like, based on her age, she should know at least how to hit, not like that. I've seen kids that age constantly get fights and stuff, even girls who have never had fights, and they don't do it that way. It was really bad acting. I was like, oh God, no, that's horrible. But like I said, the film itself is still a feel-good film.
It's all right.
In that vein of the Christmas movies, yes. And I like that.
Yeah. Good. And in reference to what you mentioned about the father earlier, I think the idea was supposed to be that, he wanted to do it on his own and he was too proud to take the job, and he had to come to the realization that, he said he wouldn't ask, he asked God for help finding the girl when she was lost in the woods. He said he wouldn't ask anything else. And I think he came to the realization that, hey, I shouldn't be so stubborn about this. God has put this opportunity in front of me already. I shouldn't let my own stupid pride get in the way of this. I have this option here. I think that was the idea, as he was overcoming his own pride.
That may or may not be the idea. There's no sign of this, because it just seemed to come the fuck out of nowhere. I'll accept the job now. You're like, what? That's like saying, oh, a random Russo swerve on the wrestling. Clearly they thought about it and they're going for some twist, but it doesn't show it.
It does. I think it shows it in the subtext. Because the point is, you see, okay, he tries to get another job, he doesn't get it, he gets really upset, and then he realizes, him getting a big fancy engineering job is not what's important. Having the family is what's important, and doing what he can to support that family is what's important. So it's more important for him to, to take that job, to swallow his pride and take that job to support the family than it is to, hold out because he wants to be, to be an executive job. It's bringing the focus into life about what is important. It's not well acted, but that's what it was intended to be, I think.
It's not well acted or well written.
Fair enough.
That was the point of it. Seems to come out of nowhere more than it should, and you're like, wait, what? It's like that. It's like what that scene with the kid when he wants his bunny back, and he's like, I want my bunny back. And because the girl tells him no, and we're supposed to root for the girl, we're supposed to be okay with the fact the boy's now lost his childhood pet because he broke a toy bike. He's done nothing wrong. He just wants his buddy back.
I think that was supposed to reinforce the message from earlier in the movie from the rabbit lady with, look at all these rabbits that kids have gotten that I end up taking care of before long because they don't want them anymore. And the message that she received from the rabbit lady earlier about, if you don't know how to take care of a rabbit, you can't have one. It was basically...
And she's doing it wrong. She's taking care of it wrong, so that's instantly disproves that bit. But also, even if it does reinforce that, who cares? It's that boy's rabbit. Because at the end of the day, we've got no sign that he mistreated the rabbit, just they found it. It could have gotten out. Hell, Pew over there, I know for a fact Pew likes her cats. Like, Pew really loves her cats.
I do.
Have you or have you not, and I already know the answer is yes, had one of your cats get out?
Outside, actually?
Yes, like when you lost that little kitten.
I don't think it's ever been outside intentionally. I mean, it's maybe...
No, I'm not saying intentionally. I'm saying accidentally. That's what the word accidentally means. It means not intentional.
I mean, they've got the closest they've been to outside are probably maybe on like the porch or a few steps, and they run back in.
I mean, the only reason I say that is because, like, if you own a dog, it gets out now and sometimes. Not often, but sometimes people lose their pets. They get out. That girl has no right to tell him no, and we shouldn't cheer for that because we've seen no evidence to suggest otherwise. The bunny wasn't neglected. It looked fine and healthy.
They never presented an opportunity for him to learn how to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we don't even know what he did to it. All we know is it was lost, which means it could have just got out.
And it's arguably safer with the other family because you don't have dickhead kids who are gonna like take it to another dangerous situation.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah, in this family, it's been shot and thrown down a hill. I kind of think the other guy looked after it more. It was just one of those things where you get them in made-for-TV movies where you get the scene where some asshole comes out of nowhere and we're supposed to be like, oh, fuck that guy. Be like, why? They've not done anything.
Actually, I just realized they didn't go back on this well. They did establish the kid wasn't a good rabbit owner. I just realized it. They didn't set it up very well, but I just realized it.
How?
Remember when they first brought the rabbit to the rabbit lady, and when the girl came back to get it, the rabbit lady other's like, I looked at this rabbit. Somebody fed this rabbit a ton of candy and almost killed it. Was that you?
Yeah.
She's like, no. So the kid fed his rabbit, didn't know it, was feeding his rabbit a bunch of candy and shit that the rabbit can't digest. The rabbit damn near died. That's why he's a bad rabbit owner.
And they're feeding it a system which they can't digest. I don't see the difference here.
They're not giving it food. They're just making its digestive system work to have food.
Yeah, which also makes her a terrible doctor. If they bring in a rabbit with a gunshot, like, oh, it's that candy. Like, no, it's a fucking gunshot. No, I'm kidding, because obviously I know it comes later, but it's like, yeah. And even then, the rabbit didn't look unhealthy and almost died. It clearly ran away, it escaped or whatever, and it was running fine until they shot it. We saw it scurrying.
True.
We didn't see it like holding its belly and going, covered in chocolate around its mouth. I regret nothing. We just saw a happy little rabbit that then got shot by this family that was supposed to be like, boo, they should look after this rabbit. But like I said, it's still enjoyable, and the girl, for the most part, is the best actress in this.
Yeah, which isn't saying a lot.
No, I say for the most part, because I will admit, a couple of scenes when she's with the crazy old woman for the first time and she's backed up and she's doing the
faces,
you're like, that's not an expression. It seems to me like the director girl went against wall and makes face, and she didn't know what that face was, so she just starts pulling like a hybrid of faces. Like one of these will be fine.
True.
But the rest of the scene, she seems pretty well, and she seems pretty good. When she delivers her lines, when she actually speaks, ironically, she seems more convincing than like the dad or most of the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do give full credit to Florence Henderson as the rabbit lady, though, because she did a really good job. Like that was I portraying that character about because especially when you think of the roles that Florence Henderson is normally in, this is the opposite of those roles. So I was a bit taken aback when I first saw her. I'm like, wow, that's really out of character from what we expect her to do. But she did a really good job with the character.
She did the best she could.
With what was given.
Yeah, because I will say, the character is filled with misinformation that's probably gonna get that rabbit killed, and B, when she drops her off after the girl's been there the first time, she's like, "Yeah, I've told her never to do this again without permission." All angry, and the second the daughter leaves, okay, now she needs to. I give you full permission so she can do this again. You're like, well, why even say that? You could have just asked the mother, "Hey, can I have permission?" Cool. It seemed like a complete, like I know you call it like a complete 180. You're like,
It's like
wait,
mood
what?
switch way too fast.
Yeah, it's like I don't get what's happened here. Yeah, I don't want that girl bothering me again. Girl leaves. I want that girl to bother me again.
Well, the idea was supposed to be that she was conflicted, like the veterinarian explained to her later. Her husband had died a while back, and she was very lonely because she had a daughter who wouldn't speak to her anymore. They had a falling out, so it was more like she likes having the company, but she's afraid of being hurt if the girl doesn't show up again, like what happened when the girl didn't show up for old Fred's birthday party. It was the same thing where she was afraid of being hurt, of being abandoned by somebody else, but she liked having the company, and so she was kind of conflicted with herself. So she was she wanted to come out and say that she wanted the girl around, but she was having trouble, accepting that fact.
Acting
And
it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
she was acting as conflicted feelings because she just. It was a conflicted feeling because, from the point of view of the character, not the actress, she just had trouble coming out and saying, I'm lonely, I want somebody to be there. So she was, trying to cover it up with being curmudgeonly.
Yeah, but acting-wise, if she's doing conflicted, she should at least do something like look away and then say the line so we can see some element of confliction.
There's like no change of emotion. It's just literally from A to B.
Staring at her and being like, she's never to do this again without permission. Okay, I want her to do this again. I give you permission. You're like, what? What is that? Have you deleted a scene where she gave a shit in the middle of it?
Yeah.
That's horrible acting.
All right. So, what are our final thoughts on this?
Yes.
I was going to mention the other scene that amuses me.
Oh, what's that?
Let him mention the other scene.
Where the father and the mother have the argument about the girl.
Mm.
Oh, they're in the bedroom, it's right next to her fucking wall. The dad stood right next to the fucking wall to guarantee she'd hear. And he's like, what? Has she heard that? What?
You mean she heard me? Yes, he means she heard you, you dumbass.
Yeah, I'm just like, how are these people foster parents? They're regular kids, a little shit. The dad's at the moment unemployed. How did they pass the foster test? What is the foster test in America? Just they're alive? Check.
Apparently.
Logic, because there's been people in America who are good people who've been denied children, like denied being able to be a foster parent and stuff due to the checks. These one get in. They've got a little bastard psychopath that shoots rabbits and pushes down a hill.
Yep.
But yes.
All right.
I'll let you go first with her rating if you want.
Okay.
If you got like a little kid or something, they probably would like this. It's not like super great, but it's all right. I enjoyed it. It was fun. The message was good. So, yeah, I'd give it like I don't know, like a 6.5, I guess.
Nice, out of 5. Nice.
Out of 10.
Fair enough.
Yep. If I was to rate it, like I said, it's enjoyable in that made-for-TV, hallmarky movie way. I know there's a massive audience for that. Like when my mum was alive, I know she used to watch that. I know there's loads of housewives that love this type of stuff. So I can see the market there. Not necessarily for me,
That's fair.
but I'll give it a thumb up. It'll get a pass because for what it is, it does the job well. So despite, like I said, it's got a load of flaws and they're fun to point out because they're really fucking bad. But the stuff it does well, it does really well.
Indeed, yeah. I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was a really enjoyable film. I thought it had a great message, even if some of the details were a little muddled along the way in terms of taking care of rabbits and whatnot, and even if they really didn't write the dad particularly well, I'm gonna be honest, I was a little not sold on the dad character from when I saw him. It's like, oh, the dad is a cross country ski champion, struggling to ski through the woods and falls down like he's about to have a heart attack. Like, really? That's how we're gonna portray this so efficient cross country skier? Yeah, okay.
You can ski cross country. You don't have to be good at it.
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Plus, maybe investors are behind them.
That's possible. But either
That's
way,
why he's becoming a designer. It's all in the subtext or whatever that shit.
Okay. That makes sense.
I.e., shit that's not actually shown on screen.
Fair enough. Anyway, it was a really enjoyable film. Like I said, if it is available out there for free on Netflix or Sky on Demand, there's places you can get it for no cost. And if you're looking for a cute Christmas movie, it's worth the hour and a half. It's enjoyable, and it's got some nice messages about both foster care and finding a home, as well as about rabbits. So that's neat. There is a nice recurring plot where the little girl's obsessed with this videotape of the Velveteen Rabbit that a motel owner gave her when she was stuck in a motel room with her mother, and it's kind of a nice bookend at the end there, because in the opening when she first watches the movie talks about how and that's the legit Velveteen Rabbit movie, by the way. That's a real movie you can go get, based on the book The Velveteen Rabbit, of course. And it talks about how what happened to the rabbit is, somebody loves you, loves you, like really, really loves you. That's when you can become real, because the Velveteen Rabbit became a real rabbit in the book. And the little girl, being at the time young enough to not totally get it, took that to heart. And at the end of the movie, they bookmarked it with the family agreed to accept her because her mother got thrown in jail for drugs again, and so they agreed to accept her. And she asks, "Am I real now?" And it's like, oh. And it's got that nice moment at the end where she realizes, she feels herself real now because somebody really does love her, because she had never really felt love before like that.
And I will say to anyone out there that's thinking about buying the Velveteen Rabbit book, don't. Use your money for something better, like a clock that's also a pen.
Also, we'll say this is free on YouTube Rent right now.
Okay. Cool. That's very good to know.
Renting section of YouTube.
Okay, good. So yes, definitely go check it out. I'd throw it about a 75. It's a really enjoyable movie. It has some flaws, and it being a TV movie, the acting is not the best. But I think Florence Henderson does a really good job portraying the rabbit lady. The little girl does a good job, and it's just an enjoyable film with a nice message.
The best actor is the rabbit.
The rabbit is a good actor.
I know. It didn't portray I'm stuffed with chocolate. It portrayed I'm happy and frolicking as the boy shoots me.
Fair enough. All right. Well, this has been the Christmas Bunny. Thank you, for joining me.
You're welcome.
And join us on Friday. We will do my other choice, Kung Fu Panda Holiday.
Isn't that Sunday?
No, that's Friday. Sunday's a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I thought you said we were going to do it Sunday before the pay-per-view.
I forgot. We moved
into Pierre Curator House.
Right, that's right. Because Pew's all right. So we moved it to Sunday. That's right. So in that case, next Sunday, Kung Fu Panda Holiday.
Woo!
And then do we have something on Saturday? I think.
I believe we have something on Saturday. I believe it's my movie, The Christmas Horror Story.
Yes, it is. All right, so stay tuned for that on Saturday, and then the Christmas Bunny on Sunday.
Which I've not seen that yet, so it's either going to be really good or it's going to be really shit.
Christmas Bunny was this one. Christmas Bunny was
this one. Not Christmas Bunny. Kung Fu Panda Holiday. Thank you.
Yep.
Yes. This has been the Christmas Bunny. We'll see you next time, folks. Peace.